So please come forward. We are here to make it happen.
Hello, sir. It's not a great privilege, but the greatest privilege to have you. And good afternoon to all the
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Myself, R.Anil Nayak, Sardar Patel College, Assistant Professor in Department of Social Sciences. So it will be a great disrespect if I say I have only one question throughout your seminar, because all the themes you have picked up and spoke has a lot of potential, and each word fallen from your seminar can be picked up as a research topic. So I have a couple of questions. So as I told, it will be a great disrespect, but I am moving with one important question. Now what bothers me more is wealth inequality than the income inequality. Now the people are able to manage income, but the wealth inequality is the greatest problem. The 1% of the population or the top 1% are benefiting. So that is one question, sir. And the other question is fragmented education. Now the education society or parents, teachers and every one of us running in the NEET and IIT. So we are, I think, falling in the unidirectional way, disrespecting the other areas of the education. So how would we address that?
I didn't get the second question properly.
We are having the education fragmentation, sir. So
you mean the state board?
Thank you.
The first question I already addressed it. I don't believe wealth inequality is a big issue. I know there will be many people arguing, we'll discuss it later on, we'll debate it. But my concern is if everybody has an opportunity to rise, irrespective of the circumstances of birth, has the productivity, can compete with anybody's child, irrespective of whether Ambani's son spends 3,000 crores for this stupid wedding and is an idiot basically. I don't care who he is, but I can compete. Because I got good education, God gave me brains. I'm quite happy with that. Opportunity is the key, not wealth. Because what do they do with the wealth? You have $50 billion, 60 billion, 100 billion, 204, what do you do? It's all a myth. As long as the wealth is productively deployed, in whose name the money is irrelevant. It's very easy to arouse envy. It doesn't really help. What is important is, do you have income earning capacity? Do you have the ability to fulfill your potential? Can you and your children compete with anybody irrespective of the origins? Do you have a harmonious society? Is might is right, or is there rule of law in the country? These are the practical consequences. Wealth is an illusory concept. It's a piece of paper. It means nothing. All the wealth in the world is not going to help you if you're in Sahara Desert. So it's a piece of paper. Because of our insecurity, inborn insecurity, we want more and add another zero, another zero. All of us are, me included. So, but don't worry too much about that. Thomas Piketty and others argue about that, and they make all nice song and dance. But the truth is, the world is getting better. A man called Hans Rosling, a Swedish physician who died some years ago, he made this point repeatedly, this point I've been making for 30 years. He made it more elegantly based on evidence. He pointed out that Egypt is today. In one person's lifetime, and Egypt has become a Sweden. That is the kind of world in which we live. Are we taking advantage and making our country a Sweden in 20, 30, 40 years? That is what really matters. It's not how much money you want to chop off these fellows and take away money from them. It doesn't help. It simply doesn't work. And not particularly in today's world. The moment you say, I want to take away your wealth, they will all migrate from this country. You can stop them by force. What kind of a country do you want to build? See, these are all, any policy born out of envy and anger is bound to fail. You have to look at society, see how best I can create conditions for this wealth to be deployed productively. As long as Ambanis and Adanis spend the money for India's infrastructure, India's economic growth and productivity and jobs, I'm okay. Origins are bad. If you have the rule of law framework, you make sure that the origins are good in future. But don't talk too much about it. But utilize that wealth effectively. I know it requires a lot of mental discipline because it's very easy. That fellow has 1,000 crores. The other fellow has 10,000 crores. No, it's add it. After some time, we don't even understand what is 1 lakh crores and 2 lakh crores. So don't worry too much about it. It's incomes, earning opportunities, and skills, ability to fulfill potential, and the social conditions for us to have an equitable society where might is not right. That is what matters. I know there will be many people who are to old communists will fight me and chop off my head, but we'll debate that. I think it's already answered by history, but I'm prepared to debate that, not today. Okay? All right. The second question, education. The problem is insecurity of parents, but I think things are improving. Things are improving because parents increasingly realize there are many opportunities for success. I played a significant role in the creation of the educational policy, national education policy. Just 2-3 weeks ago, I had spent an hour and a half with Dr. Kasturi Rangan, who was the architect of that. We had a luncheon meeting together. So we discussed offline. But I think things are getting better. One of the problems with education is, irrespective of whether IIT or something else, an education devoid of skills, just as school education has failed, in higher education also is largely failing. Let me make a very controversial and very sharp statement. If 80% of universities of India are shut down, the country will not notice. Except giving the certificates and pieces of paper, it's not having a tangible impact on the country. So we require a significant educational reform. Next.